The Sentinels and the Long Vigil. Order among the woods. With the departure of their wayward cousins, the Night Elves turned their attention back to the safekeeping of their enchanted homeland. The Druids, sensing that their time of hibernation was drawing near, prepared to sleep and leave their loved ones and families behind. Tirande, who had become the High Priestess of Elun, asked her love, Malfurion, not to leave her for Ysira's Emerald Dream. But Malfurion, honor-bound to enter the changing dreamways, bid the priestess farewell and swore that they would never be apart so long as they held true to their love. Left alone to protect Kalimdor from the dangers of the New World, Tirande assembled a powerful fighting force from amongst her Night Elf sisters. The fearless, highly trained warrior women who pledged themselves to Kalimdor's defense became known as the Sentinels. Though they preferred to patrol the shadowy forest of Ashenvale on their own, they had many allies upon which they could call in times of urgency. The demigod Cenarius remained nearby in the moonglades of Mount Hyjal. His sons, known as the Keepers of the Grove, kept close watch on the Night Elves and regularly helped the Sentinels maintain peace in the land. Even Cenarius' shy daughters, the Dryads, appeared in the open with increasing frequency. The task of policing Ashenvale kept Tirande busy, but without Malfurion by her side, she knew little joy. As the long centuries passed while the Druids slept, her fears of a second demonic invasion grew. She could not shake the unnerving feeling that the Burning Legion might still be out there, beyond the great dark of the sky, plotting its revenge upon the Night Elves and the world of Azeroth.
off and away.
Dream, Birth of Eternity. For many years, the Night Elves worked tirelessly to rebuild what they could of their ancient homeland. Leaving their broken temples and roads to be overgrown, they constructed their new homes amidst the verdant trees and shadowed hills at Hyjot's base. In time, the dragons that had survived the Great Sundering came forth from their secret abodes. Alexstrasza the Red, Ysera the Green, and Norsdorm the Bronze descended upon the Druids' tranquil lands and surveyed the fruits of the Night Elves' labors. Malfurion, who had become an arch-druid of immense power, greeted the mighty dragons and told them about the creation of the new Well of Eternity. The great dragons were alarmed to hear the dark news and speculated that as long as the well remained, the Legion might one day return and assault the world once again. Malfurion and the three dragons made a pact to keep the well safe and ensure that the agents of the Burning Legion would never again find their way back into the world. Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder, placed a single enchanted acorn within the heart of the Well of Eternity. The acorn, activated by the potent magical waters, sprung to life as a colossal tree. The mighty tree's roots grew from the well's waters, and its verdant canopy seemed to scrape the roof of the sky. The immense tree would be an everlasting symbol of the Night Elves' bond with nature, and its life-giving energies would extend out to heal the rest of the world over time. The Night Elves gave their world tree the new name Nordrassil, which meant crown of the heavens in their native tongue. Norsdorm, the Timeless, placed an enchantment upon the world tree to ensure that as long as the colossal tree stood, the Night Elves would never age or fall prey to sickness or disease. Ysera, the Dreamer, also placed an enchantment upon the world tree by linking it to her own realm, the ethereal dimension known as the Emerald Dream. The Emerald Dream, a vast, ever-changing spirit world, existed outside the boundaries of the physical world. From the dream, Ysera regulated the ebb and flow of nature and the evolutionary path of the world itself. The Night Elf Druids, including Malfurion himself, were bound to the dream through the world tree. As part of the mystical pact, the Druids agreed to sleep for centuries at a time so that their spirits could roam the infinite paths of Ysera's dreamlands. Though the Druids were grieved at the prospect of losing so many years of their lives to hibernation, they selflessly agreed to uphold their bargain with Ysera.
Hey, Azeroth, picture this. Old Zappo dozing off in Ironforge near the Great Forge. I mean, I'm a goblin, right? We need our view to sleep. Well, my nap turned into a near swan dive into molten lava. Talk about a wake-up call. It's a good thing my reflexes are faster than a gnomish invention gone wrong. I escaped the zizzle, but my boots got a molten makeover. Now they're lava loving. Lesson learned, never snooze near lava, folks. You might wake up with a hot news fashion statement.
The Alliance of Lordaeron, Foundation of Honor. Lord Lothar rallied the remnants of Azeroth's armies after their defeat at Stormwind Keep, and then launched a massive exodus across the sea to the northern kingdom of Lordaeron. Convinced that the Horde would overcome all of humanity if left unchecked, the leaders of the 7 human nations met and agreed to unite in what would become known as the Alliance of Lordaeron. For the first time in nearly 3,000 years, the disparate nations of Arathor were once again united under a common banner. Appointed as supreme commander of the Alliance forces, Lord Lothar prepared his armies for the coming of the Horde. Aided by his lieutenants, Uther the Lightbringer, Admiral Dalen Proudmoore, and Turalyon, Lothar was able to convince Lordaeron's demi-human races of the impending threat as well. The Alliance succeeded in gaining the support of the stoic dwarves of Ironforge and a small number of High Elves of Quel'Thalas. The Elves, led at that time by Anasterian Sunstrider, were largely uninterested in the coming conflict. However, they were duty-bound to aid Lothar because he was the last descendant of the Arathi bloodline, which had aided the Elves in ages past. The Horde, now led by Warchief Doomhammer, brought in ogres from its homeworld of Draenor and conscripted the disenfranchised Amani forest trolls into its fold, setting out on a massive campaign to overrun the dwarf kingdom of Khaz-Modan and the southern reaches of Lordaeron. The Horde effortlessly decimated all opposition. The epic battles of the Second War ranged from large-scale naval skirmishes to massive aerial dogfights. Somehow, the Horde had unearthed a powerful artifact known as the Demon Soul and used it to enslave the ancient dragon queen Alexstrasza. Threatening to destroy her precious eggs, the Horde forced Alexstrasza to send her grown children to war. The noble red dragons were forced to fight for the Horde, and fight they did. The war raged across the continents of Khaz-Modan, Lordaeron, and Azeroth itself. As part of its northern campaign, the Horde succeeded in burning down the borderlands of Quel'Thalas, thereby ensuring the Elves' final commitment to the Alliance cause. The greatest cities and townships of Lordaeron were razed and devastated by the conflict. Despite the absence of reinforcements and overwhelming odds, Lothar and his allies succeeded in holding their enemies at bay. However, during the final days of the Second War, as the Horde's victory over the Alliance seemed almost assured, a terrible feud erupted between the 2 most powerful orcs on Azeroth. As Doomhammer prepared his final assault against the capital city of Lordaeron, an assault that would have crushed the last remnants of the Alliance, Gul'dan and his followers abandoned their posts and set out to sea. The bewildered Doomhammer, having lost nearly half of his standing forces to Gul'dan's treachery, was forced to pull back and forsake his greatest chance at victory over the Alliance. The power-hungry Gul'dan, obsessed with obtaining godhood itself, set out on a desperate search for the undersea tomb of Sargeras that he believed held the secrets of ultimate power. Having already doomed his fellow orcs to become the slaves of the Burning Legion, Gul'dan thought nothing of his supposed duty to Doomhammer. Backed by the Storm Reaver and Twilight's Hammerclads, Gul'dan succeeded in raising the tomb of Sargeras from the sea floor. However, when he opened the ancient flooded vault, he found only crazed demons awaiting him. Seeking to punish the wayward orcs for their costly betrayal, Doomhammer sent his forces to kill Gul'dan and bring the renegades back into the fold. For his recklessness, Gul'dan was torn apart by the maddened demons he had set loose. With their leader dead, the renegade clans quickly fell before Doomhammer's enraged legions. Though the rebellion had been quelled, the Horde was unable to recoup the terrible losses it had suffered. Gul'dan's betrayal had afforded the Alliance not only hope, but also time to regroup and retaliate. Lord Lothar, seeing that the Horde was fracturing from within, gathered the last of his forces and pushed Doomhammer south, back into the shattered heartland of Stormwind. There, the Alliance forces trapped the retreating Horde within the volcanic fortress of Blackrock Spire. Though Lord Lothar fell in battle at the spire's base, his lieutenant, Turali, rallied the Alliance forces at the 11th hour and drove the Horde back into the abysmal swamp of souls. Turalian's forces succeeded in destroying the Dark Portal, the mystical gateway that connected the Orcs to their homeworld of Draenor. Cut off from its reinforcements and fractured by infighting, the Horde finally buckled in upon itself and fell before the might of the Alliance. The scattered Orc clans were quickly rounded up and placed within guarded internment camps. Though it seemed that the Horde had been defeated for good, some remained highly skeptical that peace would last. Khadgar, now an Archmage of some renown, convinced the Alliance High Command to build the fortress of Nethergard that would watch over the ruins of the Dark Portal and ensure that there would be no further invasions from Draenor.
Ladies, gents, and goblins, it's advertisement o'clock. Ever wondered how to get your stuff heard by folks who probably want to buy it? Everlook Broadcasting Co. is here for you. Now, let's get to the good stuff.
The products you never knew you needed.
Listen up, warriors of the Horde. The Axe-Grinder's Forge is where real weapons are born. Feel the heat, smell the sweat, and taste the power as our blacksmiths craft weapons worthy of a true orc. Swing them with pride on the battlefield, and know the satisfaction of cutting through enemies like butter.
Need something darker than dark? WoW's resurrection of soul-wrenching literature. Perfect for those insomniac nights of eternal existence.
Hey there, brave warriors of Azeroth. Ever find yourself fighting in Alterac Valley with a parched throat? Our Alterac snow cones are the perfect refreshment, made from fresh, fallen snow. Flavour options include Frostwolf Blood and Stormpike Tears. So come on down to Alterac Snow Blood and Tears and get yourself a frosty cold one today.
charge of the dragonflights, protectors of. Satisfied that the small world had been ordered and the work was done, the Titans prepared to leave Azeroth. However, before they departed, they charged the greatest species of the world with the task of watching over Kalimdor, lest any force should threaten its perfect tranquility. In that age, there were many dragonflights. Yet, there were 5 flights that held dominion over their brethren. It was these 5 flights that the Titans chose to shepherd the budding world. The greatest members of the Pantheon viewed a portion of the powers upon each of the flights' leaders. These majestic dragons, as listed below, became known as the Great Aspects, or the Dragon Aspects. Amon Thul, the High Father of the Pantheon, bestowed a portion of his cosmic power upon the massive bronze dragon, Nosdormu. The High Father empowered Nosdormu to guard time itself and police the ever-spinning pathways of fate and destiny. The stoic, honorable Nosdormu became known as the Timeless One. Ionar, the Titan patron of all life, gave a portion of her power to the Red Leviathan, Alexstrasza. Ever after, Alexstrasza would be known as the Lifebinder, and she would work to safeguard all living creatures within the world. Due to her supreme wisdom and limitless compassion for all living things, Alexstrasza was crowned the Dragon Queen and given dominion over her kind. Ionar also blessed Alexstrasza's younger sister, the lithe green dragon Ysara, with a portion of nature's influence. Ysara fell into an eternal trance, bound to the waking dream of creation. Known as the Dreamer, she would watch over the growing wilds of the world from her verdant realm, the Emerald Dream. Norganon, the Titan lore keeper and master magician, granted the blue dragon Malygos a portion of his vast power. From then on, Malygos would be known as the Spell Reader, the guardian of magic and hidden arcana. Khaz'goroth, the Titan shaper and forger of the world, bestowed some of his vast power upon the mighty black worm Neltharion. The great-hearted Neltharion, known afterwards as the Earth Warder, was given dominion over the earth and the deep places of the world. He embodied the strength of the world and served as Alexstrasza's greatest supporter. Thus empowered, the 5 aspects were charged with the world's defense in the Titans' absence. With the dragons prepared to safeguard their creation, the Titans left Azeroth behind forever. Unfortunately, it was only a matter of time before Sargeras learned of the newborn world's existence.
Ye already know the best metal comes from the forges of Ironforge, so stay tuned for more metal.
I'm sorry guys, I'm just ordering some food at the internet real quick. I'm hungry. Shit.
The invasion of Draenor, on the offensive. As the fires of the Second War died down, the Alliance took aggressive steps to contain the Orcish threat. A number of large internment camps meant to house the captive orcs were constructed in southern Lordaeron. Guarded by both the paladins and the veteran soldiers of the Alliance, the camps proved to be a great success. Though the captive orcs were tense and anxious to do battle once more, the various camp wardens based at the old prison fortress of Durnhold kept the peace and maintained a strong semblance of order. However, on the hellish world of Draenor, a new Orcish army prepared to strike at the unsuspecting Alliance. Ner'zhul, the former mentor of Gul'dan, rallied the remaining Orc clans under his dark banner. Aided by the Shadowmoon clan, the old shaman planned to open a number of portals on Draenor that would lead the Horde to new, unspoiled worlds. To power his new portals, he needed a number of enchanted artifacts from Azeroth. To procure them, Ner'zhul reopened the Dark Portal and sent his ravenous servants charging through it. The new Horde, led by veteran chieftains such as Grom Hellscream and Kilrog Deadeye of the Bleeding Hollow clan, surprised the Alliance defense forces and rampaged through the countryside. Under Ner'zhul's surgical command, the Orcs quickly rounded up the artifacts that they needed and fled back to the safety of Draenor. King Terenas of Lordaeron, convinced that the Orcs were preparing a new invasion of Azeroth, assembled his most trusted lieutenants. He ordered General Turalyon and the Archmage Khadgar to lead an expedition through the Dark Portal to put an end to the Orcish threat once and for all. Turalyon and Khadgar's forces marched into Draenor and repeatedly clashed with Ner'zhul's clans upon the ravaged Hellfire Peninsula. Even with the aid of the High Elf Ilaria Windrunner, the dwarf Kurdran Wildhammer, and the veteran soldier Danath Trollbane, Khadgar was unable to prevent Ner'zhul from opening his portals to other worlds. Ner'zhul finally opened his portals to other worlds, but he did not foresee the terrible price he would pay. The portal's tremendous energies began to tear the very fabric of Draenor apart. As Turalyon's forces fought desperately to return home to Azeroth, the world of Draenor began to buckle in upon itself. Grom Hellscream and Kilrog Deadeye, realizing that Ner'zhul's mad plans would doom their entire race, rallied the remaining Orcs and escaped back to the relative safety of Azeroth. On Draenor, Turalyon and Khadgar agreed to make the ultimate sacrifice by destroying the Dark Portal from their side. Though it would cost their lives, and the lives of their companions, they knew that it was the only way to ensure Azeroth's survival. Even as Hellscream and Deadeye hacked their way through the human ranks in a desperate bid for freedom, the Dark Portal exploded behind them. For them, and the remaining orcs on Azeroth, there would be no going back. Herzul and his loyal Shadowmoon clan passed through the largest of the newly created portals as massive volcanic eruptions began to break Draenor's continents apart. The burning seas rose up and roiled the shattered landscape as the tortured world was finally consumed in a massive, apocalyptic explosion.
Greetings, fellow workers of Durotar. This is your favorite goblin DJ, Zappo Zapblast, bringing you a special message from the Durotar Labor Union. Are you tired of being treated like a peon? Do you yearn for fair wages, safe working conditions, and a voice that truly represents your interests? Well, look no further, because the DLU has got your back. Picture this, my friends, a bustling Durotar, where every worker is valued and respected. The Durotar Labor Union is here to ensure just that. We are a guild of hard-working goblins, fighting tooth and nail to secure your rights and improve your quality of life. From Orgrimmar to Razor Hill, from Senjin Village to the Echo Isles, our reach extends far and wide. Need a raise? Sick of those back-breaking hours? The DLU negotiates fair wages and reasonable working hours on your behalf. No more being taken advantage of by greedy employers. We fight for your right to comfortable and fulfilling work-life balance. But that's not all, folks. The DLU is dedicated to ensuring your safety in the workplace. We demand proper safety measures, training, and equipment to protect you from harm. With us by your side, you can kiss those hazardous work environments goodbye. And let's not forget about the power of unity. Joining the Durotar Labor Union means joining a community of like-minded individuals, all striving for a better future. Together, we can stand up against exploitation, discrimination, and injustice. We are stronger when we stand together, shoulder to shoulder. So my hard-working comrades, don't wait another moment. Join the Durotar Labor Union today and let your voice be heard. Together, we will build a brighter, fairer, and more prosperous Durotar for all. Visit our headquarters in Orgrimmar or any of our local branches to sign up and become a part of this historic movement. Remember, my friends, in the words of our esteemed leader, Nerd Blastenstorm himself, a worker's worth is measured by the sweat on her brow, and the Durotar Labor Union ensures that worth is recognized. So tune into Zappo Zapblast show for more updates, and let's make Durotar the land of opportunity it was always meant to be.
Hey there.
King's honor, friend. Light bless you.
The Last Guardian, Aegwyn's Legacy, read to you by Vrograg Fishslayer. The Guardian Aegwyn grew powerful over the years and used the Tirisfal energies to greatly extend her life. Foolishly believing she had defeated Sargeras for good, she continued to safeguard the world from the Demon King's minions for nearly 900 years. However, the Council of Tirisfal finally decreed that her stewardship had come to an end. The Council ordered Aegwyn to return to Dalaran so that they could choose a new successor for the Guardian power. Yet Aegwyn, ever distrustful of the Council, decided to choose a successor on her own. The proud Aegwyn planned to give birth to a son whom she would divest her power to. She had no intention of allowing the Order of Tirisfal to manipulate her successor as they had tried to manipulate her. Traveling to the southern nation of Azeroth, Aegwyn found the perfect man to father her son, a skilled human magician known as Neelas Aran. Aran was the court conjurer and advisor for Azeroth's king. Aegwyn seduced the magician and conceived a son by him. Neelas's natural affinity for magic would run deep within the unborn child and define the tragic steps the child would later take. The power of Tirisfal was also implanted in the child, yet it wasn't to awaken until he reached physical maturity. Time passed and Aegwyn gave birth to her son in a secluded grove, naming the boy Medivh, which means keeper of secrets in the High Elven tongue. Aegwyn believed that the boy would mature to become the next guardian. Unfortunately, the malignant spirit of Sargeras, which had been hiding inside her, had possessed the defenseless child while it was still in her womb. Aegwyn had no idea that the world's newest guardian was already possessed by its greatest nemesis. Certain that her baby was healthy and sound, Aegwyn delivered young Medivh to the court of Azeroth and left him there to be raised by his mortal father and his people. She then wandered into the wilderness and prepared to pass into whatever afterlife awaited her. Medivh grew to become a strong boy and had no idea of the potential power of his Tirisfalian birthright. Sargeras bided his time until the youth's power manifested itself. By the time Medivh had reached his teenage years, he had become very popular in Azeroth for his magical prowess and often went off on adventures with his two friends, Lane, the Prince of Azeroth, and Anduin Lothar, one of the last descendants of the Arathi bloodline. The three boys constantly caused mischief around the kingdom, but they were well liked by the general citizenry. When Medivh reached the age of 14, the cosmic power inside him awakened and clashed with the pervasive spirit of Sargeras that lurked within his soul. Medivh fell into a catatonic state which lasted for many years. When he awakened from his coma, he found that he had grown to adulthood and his friends Lane and Anduin had become the regents of Azeroth. Though he wished to use his incredible newfound powers to protect the land he called home, the dark spirit of